Chairman, I move approval of the agenda as presented.
Discussion? Not all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I, Barnax Taylor.
Aye. Our motion is carried. Agenda is approved. Now we'll have our conflict of interest statements.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. In accordance with the rules and procedures adopted by this board in Section 153A-44 of the North Carolina General Statute, it is the duty of every member present to vote on all matters coming before the board unless there is a conflict of interest as determined by the board or by law. Does any board member have a conflict of interest with respect to any agenda item coming before the board today? If so, please identify the conflict, and the board will consider the matter. No conflict, Mr. Chairman.
No conflict, Barnax Taylor.
No conflict. All right, next we have our consent agenda. You see the items on the consent agenda. They were presented last meeting. Got to get a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of the consent agenda as presented last meeting.
Second.
Any discussion? Not all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I, Barnax Taylor.
Aye. Motion is carried. Consent agenda is approved. Next, we have the citizen comments.
Citizens, if you've signed up to speak this evening, when you're recognized, please approach the podium. When your name is called, you'll have 5 minutes to make your comments. The chair will cut off all speakers exceeding their allotted time. If you have any questions of the board, you will receive a response from the board or county staff. The board will not respond or otherwise engage in a dialogue with you during your allotted time. And pursuant to North Carolina law, this time is allotted on the agenda to allow for public commentary on county business. This is not an open forum to be publicly critical of the performance of any county commissioner or county employee, and the chair will maintain the order and decorum of these comments. Commissioners, I have 3 sign-up sheets. The first by Mr. Charles Tyner.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I did 8 years county commissioner and did all I possibly could for Northampton County. But I stand here tonight because I'm hurt. Anybody can become hurt when they know they have worked, labored hard, and yet they see what they were labored and worked for so much for not turn out to be what it needs to be. County commissioners, I've sat in your seat, and I worked hard for Northampton County. The reason I ran 8 years ago was because I wanted one thing for the citizens of Northampton County. I wanted every citizen in Northampton County to have good drinking water. I did not run for a county commissioner because I wanted to see that we were building a courthouse, annex building, housing, water and sewer. For the other part of development, I ran because I wanted every citizen to receive water. And I worked hard. I did personally to do an application, send to not to send, but to take to Washington, D.C., so that we could get the monies we need for additional waters for the citizens of Northampton County. I got the money. Yeah, I got it. I went to D.C. I went to the hearings. I begged for the money. Because I begged so much for this and all other things, the representative in Butterfield's office said to me, "What else do you need, Tyner? You need anything else?" I said, "Yes, we need a courthouse. We need this. We need that. We need all that you see going on." I said, "We need it." He said, "Okay, let's get to work to get it done." I said, "Representative Butterfield, you ain't done nothing for Northampton County anyway. You need to do something for Northampton County. And everywhere I go, you speaking, you talking about your people are from Northampton County, but what have you done?" Said, Tyler, let's get it done. Without a doubt, we wrote the grant. None of you all were here. I wish you would have asked me. We wrote the grant to meet the criteria for a water Phase 6 water program. Phase 6 water program included those roads in Northampton County that did not have water. And let me put a pin there to let you know that the water system was not done right in Northampton County from day one. You don't know because you weren't here. You weren't involved. I looked at it. The water hydrant, the roads they ran down because of who you know and who was in that community. I remember on the board, the first meeting we had, someone came to us saying they're running the water lines for Phase 5, but where are the water hydrants? The water hydrants now being placed by certain folks' houses and not by other folks' houses. It's not being done correctly. We looked into that. We got that squared away. But board members, what I come to tell you, I know my 5 minutes is easing away, and let me know when it's up, because I want to follow the rules.
You got a minute 26.
Okay, thank you. All I want you to know is that you had an opportunity to give Barrett Cabin Road, you had the opportunity to give to Watson Mill Road, Turkey Branch Road, opportunity to give us water. Now, when I wrote up the grant, it had 2 criteria. We met all those criteria. And the one that was really sound off was, do the people on that road have bad water? Folks, there's some folks in Northampton County that got water they can't drink. You don't know that. I wish you would have asked me. I'm one of them. 1 mile from a hog farm. Water's contaminated. We had it tested. People down the road, water's contaminated. Then we know in Gaston, in Jackson, there's water that's contaminated. But nobody asked, nobody knows. That was number 1. Run water first where you know people, that it's contaminated. That's why we ran it in Seaboard. That's why Mount Zion Church got water. Because we decided that we were going right then to Mount Zion because they couldn't do anything down that road, not even have church, because they didn't have good water. Then, folks, you had opportunity to give us water. You had 3 opportunities. One is on Barrett Cabin Road, Conway, water is already on that road. Town of Conway coming from Purdue Hatchery is already on that road. 2 people on that road is already hooked up to Conway. I said to the person we hired for this job in water, I said to her, this is the opportunity we have. And by the way, she gave a good report last week, and she gave what she knew, but she didn't know all of it, because I know the facts. I was here. I was here 20 years ago saying the same thing to commissioners. 20 years ago, people need good water. So now, my time is up. Okay, so now.
I'll give you 30 seconds.
Okay, now I want you to know you have another opportunity. Right by Turkey Branch Road, 500 feet is the Hereford County water line. Within a half a mile, you have all the people covered in Turkey Branch Road. You have the people covered in Watson Mill Road. All of us could be covered. You have that opportunity. But no, you fail to even ask. And now you got water going to other communities. I'm hurt. You know, Kevin, you know for yourself, Commissioner, how hard I work to get water in Northampton County. Then when I left, we had already established that we ought to get Phase 7 started. We had the money already allotted. People already promised us the money for Phase 7. Commissioners, I just wish you would. If you don't have all the data, please ask. It's free. I'll give it to you. I hope this wasn't a person in data against me. I just want some water. And by the way, you should say bad words about me, because you know I got friends everywhere. It comes back to me. So I just want you to know, but that doesn't bother me. The fact of it is, we want to do what's best for Northampton County and for the citizens of Northampton County and for all Northampton County. That's all I work for all of Northampton County. And right now, you really upset me because you didn't look out for all Northampton County and those who need the water the worst. Thank you for listening to me, but I'll be on this. And if I don't get it solved now, don't worry, election is coming up. I'll just put my name back on the ballot again and come back in and say I want some water. Citizens, will you stick with me to get some water? And stop worrying me when I went to preach last week. We got to preach again 2 more weeks in Northampton County. They're worrying me about water. I said, well, you didn't vote. You didn't vote right. Now you had opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Earl Daniels.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Board, I briefly touched on this last week, and I want to bring it up again because in October of last year, I did come before this board and make a request to have the sheriff's office named in honor of Sheriff Frank Outland. At that time, the board has tabled it since last October. It continues to be tabled. A few highlights. I've given each of you a copy of his bio, but I just want to highlight a few things. He spent more time in law enforcement at Northampton County as sheriff and chief of police of Rich Square than the 2 commissioners for which buildings have been named, Commissioner Faison and Commissioner Ely. His time he spent in law enforcement is more time than they spent combined. He's the only sheriff of Northampton County that has ever served as president of the North Carolina Sheriff's Association. One of the biggest things he did while he was sheriff, unfortunately it didn't come to fruition until after he was sheriff, was that if it was not for him, the sheriffs and deputies in the state of North Carolina would not have had a retirement system. In the early 50s, mid-50s it was, county employees came under the retirement system. It wasn't until after Sheriff Outland retired, he made that his platform when he was president of the Sheriff's Association, and he continued it right on until after he retired. He continued to work legislators until we finally got the sheriffs and deputies under the retirement system. There were over 500 plus news articles written on them. He is a legend in this county. He was a devout Quaker. If any of you have not read his book, any of you commissioners have not read his book on his life, I have a copy of it here for you, and I will give it to you if you don't have a copy. I know I've personally given some of you copies, but if you want a copy, I will give you a copy, and you'll see what this man has accomplished. And here we are now, today, still have not made a decision. I respectfully request the board vote on making the sheriff's office naming it in honor of Sheriff Frank Outland. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Alan Tashima.
Good evening, Board. My name is Alan Tashima, and I'd like to start off with giving some great recommendations. I need to give a shout out to the Finance Director, Ms. Leslie Edwards, for an outstanding job in annotating and reconciling the county finances in tab 9, the monthly financial report for August 2025. This is the type of report that should be presented whenever possible, since it answers some of the questions that I've been asking and comments that I've been making for the last 2+ years and getting non-answers or bogus responses. I suggest that county taxpayers and commissioners review them in detail and will provide pages that should be of interest. This is the type of transparency and accountability that I've been asking for over the 2+ years. It also brings to light that the county has not been telling the truth to taxpayers, and I have it in writing that they've been hiding the truth. I've asked numerous times how the county is paying the bills since the fiscal year starts on 1 July, which is normally you're going to start over. Since there is no substantial revenue being generated, see Exhibit 1, page 2, financial 2025 to 2026. Since the bulk of the revenue is collected under property taxes, and we've all just got our property tax information, they're collecting about 24 million in property taxes and about 13 million in other taxes, fees, etc., for a total revenue of 37.8 million for the fiscal year. At the end of August, as annotated, the county revenue was 2.1 million, Exhibit 1, page 2, with expenditures of 5.2 million, Exhibit 2, page 4. So how is the county covering the over expenditure in expenditures? I've asked that question before and got bogus answers. But on this financial report, I finally found it. On numerous occasions, I've asked about cash on hand, reserve funds. I've even used the word slush funds or super secret funds. The county has responded that there is no such funding lines, which could be true because of a difference of opinion and definitions. The county calls the funding line operating cash and investment balances, see page 7, to help cover the beginning of the fiscal year expenditures, as well as other things the county approves for expenditures. The operating cash on hand at the end of August was $4.5 million, and the investment balance, which can be used to cover expenditures per the definition, is about $27.5 million, for a total of $32.1 million that is not made public to the county taxpayers. So it's technically a secret fund because it's the first time it's ever been written out in public, which begs the question, why are our taxes so high? The other interesting fact is Exhibit 7, page 6, outstanding long-term debt, which at the end of fiscal year 25, 30 June 2025, the county owed approximately $20.2 million. In fiscal year 26, starting 1 July 2025, the total debt servicing is about $1.5 million. And the interesting fact is that some of the loans will not be paid off until 2040. Okay? The other interesting fact is that some of the loans, according to the previous chairman of the Board of Commissioners, were supposed to be grants or free money, and it wouldn't cost the taxpayers anything. Not according to the form. I forgot to mention that the county will add another $6.9 million in the coming year for a loan to cover Phase 6 shortfall for the water project for the eastern part of the county, from my understanding. Then the total debt is going to be about $27 million. That's more than half the total budget for the year. Thank you very much. I just wanted to point these things out to the commissioners.
Thank you. All right. The next item on the agenda is recognition of Chief Brenda Burnett and Marcel Goffington.
Mr. Chairman and members of the County Commission, thank you so much for the opportunity to stand before you representing United States Senator Ted Budd. It was brought to our attention that you have two very distinguished chiefs of police, and the senator, as a part of his legislative agenda for this Congress, Strong Faith, Strong Family, Strong Nation, has a commitment to work hard to make America's streets safe. And we know that at the front of that is leadership at the local level and those serving as chiefs of police. So I have the distinct honor to read to you and those present words from Senator Budd as he would like to recognize Chief Brenda Burnett and Chief Marcel Goffington for their service. And so I read to you, Chief Burnett. I want to extend my deepest gratitude for your distinguished service to Jackson, North Carolina. As the town's first female police chief, you have not only broken barriers, but you have also paved the way for future generations of women in law enforcement. From your beginnings as a dispatcher and special deputy to your leadership roles as detective sergeant, lieutenant of investigations, captain with the Northampton County Sheriff's Office, campus police officer at Chowan University and Halifax Community College, lieutenant with the Weldon Police Department and internal affairs investigator for the state of North Carolina, your 40 years of experience is inspiring. Moreover, it is truly special to recognize the unique legacy you and your son, Chief Marcel Goffington, have created as the first mother-son duo serving simultaneously as police chiefs in the same county. This extraordinary accomplishment highlights the strength of your family's commitment to community service and leadership. Thank you, Chief Burnett, for your unwavering dedication, trailblazing spirit, and exemplary service. Your leadership has made a lasting impact on Jackson and beyond. If my office can ever be of assistance to you, please do not hesitate to contact me. Sincerely, Ted Budd, United States Senator. And now, Chief Marcel Goffington. The note states, I would like to extend my sincere thanks and appreciation for your dedicated service to the town of Garysburg and the citizens of Northampton County. With over 15 years of distinguished work in law enforcement, including your roles as chief and lieutenant with Garysburg Police Department and prior service with the Northampton County Sheriff's Office, your commitment to public safety and community well-being is truly commendable. It is also an honor to recognize the historic achievement you share with your mother, Chief Brenda Burnett, as the first mother-son duo to serve simultaneously as police chiefs within the same county. This extraordinary milestone not only reflects your shared dedication to service, but also serves as an inspiring example of leadership and legacy in law enforcement. Thank you, Chief Goffington, for your continued service, your integrity, and the positive impact you have made on the community. If my office can ever be of assistance to you, please do not hesitate to contact me. Sincerely, Ted Budd, United States Senator.
Okay. I'd like to say something real quick, too. This is really special to me because Brenda and I were classmates from elementary school through high school, and they used to be neighbors to my mother for several years, and my mother thought a lot of the whole family.
I'd like to thank my mayor, Mr. Hud, Mr. Scott, the commissioner, and my husband, and my son, you know, he believed in me also. And Mr. Pierce. Mr. Pierce did the research in the beginning, and I just, you know, I just want to thank everybody that believed in us. Thank you.
Okay, next we have a Public Works presentation.
Thank you so much, Chairman, Board, those in attendance. That's a tough act to follow. I'm going to tell you, congratulations, but I would like to bring some gentlemen before you here. We've had 3 employees, only 2 could come tonight. One had a prior engagement, but we've had, if you want to come to Scott. Scott is our assistant director here. And so we've had 2 employees that have attended a state recognized class. They have proven proficient in the classwork. They have proven proficient in the field work with experience. And they have worked, I'm not awarding it to them because they worked hard for it, but they have passed the state exam and are, if I'm not mistaken, the first ones to attain a new certification by the state in Northampton County in over 9 years. And so they, Cody Hurdle, grade 1 collections, Ryan Daughtry, grade 1 collections, and Mr. Jonathan Futrell couldn't be here tonight, but he also earned his. So I just want to present these, you know, up and coming in our department. And Scott and I don't want to speak for him, but Scott and I are very proud of the work that these gentlemen have put in and that they continue to put in. So we just wanted to present them to you. And if you would make me very happy and come back down and let me take a picture with them, I would certainly appreciate that. If you could
Thank
do
you and
that.
congratulations. Known both these young men for a lot of years.
See, y'all get in close like you know each other now. Okay? Very, very proud of you guys. These are Northampton County fellows that are products of our culture here in Northampton County, and just very proud of them. Thank you. Thank you, Board, for that.
Cody was a classmate of my oldest daughters in school, and Ryan Daughtry was one of my scouts. He earned Eagle Scout when he was in my scout troop. So they. Why, does he say that and you don't believe him? It's true. He might have been aggravating a bit, but he he did the work. And all right, next thing on our agenda is the Finance Department.
Good evening, Commissioners. The first item I have for you on the agenda is the August 2025 monthly financial report. If you will scroll to page 2, Exhibit 1 shows the county's revenues. Revenues are currently at 5.6% to budgeted numbers, which is about 0.4% higher than it was last year at this time. That equates to $80,241. If you'll move over to page 3. In August, you want to see your expenses around 16.6% or lower. So I just want to point out a few outliers. As you can see, most departments are falling under that percentage. There will be a few outliers though for specifically central garage and bulk fuel. If you'll remember at the for the July report, those numbers were spent at 100%. They're about middle way on page 3. Right now they're showing a negative, and that is because bulk fuel in central stores, we purchase that in bulk, and then as departments use it, we charge it back to the departments. So every month you're going to see them spend at 100%, then you're going to see them go down back into a negative. So that is normal for those two. Also on page 4, we do have some outliers. You'll see contributions that we make one time a year that we make to outside agencies. For example, drainage and watershed, which is your first item. You'll see that's at 100%, and that is because we make one contribution for the entire year. So anytime you have contributions, those are going to show over that 16%. Our overall expenses for August for all departments is 13.7, which is under the expected 16.6%. If you scroll over to page 5, these are our enterprise funds. Fund 61, our enterprise fund revenue. Revenues are over expenditures by $270,000. Our Gettysburg Water and Sewer District revenue. Right now, we're showing expenditures over revenue. We actually had an error in our billing software, and I met with them last week, and we are working on creating new billing codes. In the past, we have broken out our receivables based on a percentage. So we are working with the billing company to actually bill out the Gettysburg Sewer District. So as they are billed, they're going to come in exact for the billing instead of breaking it out by a percentage. So you're going to see some variances in those numbers until we get that implemented. Exhibit 5 is our solid waste fund. Solid waste, our revenues right now are at $50,000 and expenditures are at $371,000. That is normal for this time of year as we collect our solid waste fees with our ad valorem tax billings. So as you see tax revenue coming in starting in September, this revenue, you'll start seeing the increase in your percentages for revenue for solid waste. Page 6 is our county outstanding long-term debt. This is exactly the same thing that I reported on your July report. This is going to be the same every month. This is just to kind of give an overview of our outstanding debt over a 5-year period. Page 7 is our operating cash and investment balances. Our operating cash is at $4.5 million, and our investment balance is $27.5 million, with our total cash balance at $32 million. These numbers will also increase as we start collecting ad valorem taxes in September. And that's all I have for the monthly financial report.
Okay, does anyone have any questions?
I have some questions. My question, Ms. Edwards, is, here it is in October, but the report is from August. Why is that?
Because we have, some revenues we don't receive until the 15th of the following month. So
Mhm.
this gives us time to get all of those revenues posted so that I can present true and accurate numbers to this board and to the citizens.
Okay, my second question is, what CPA firm did this report for us? Because this show didn't come out our financial department.
Yes, ma'am, I did this report myself.
Ms. Edwards, let me tell you, I done read enough of our audit reports to know this did not come out of our financial department because it's too well written. And I have read enough of our audit reports at night to know this did not come out of our finance, the words that were used, the way, to, no. Which CPA firm did it? Because the number one, the tables are too immaculate, too well done. The wording is too, What CPA did our CPA firm did this? Because I tell you why I'm asking that. Because if they did it, I'd like for them to start calling us and setting up appointments with our board, because it's time for them to start having some meetings with us, because it's near audit time. And it's time for them to start meeting the commissioners and getting us together so we can get ready for the audit coming up in December. So we'll be ready, so we know what to do, so we won't be on that assistance list next year. But this, this came from our CPA firm. No. And then there's something in the back that has to do, I agree that whatever's in the back, that came out of your department. But no, this came from a CPA firm. This is, no, because I read too many of our audits to know this did not come out of our department.
I created this report. You could actually call David Cotton, who is the county manager for Cleveland County. I created this report in Hertford County and used the same report there as well.
I beg to differ. And I stand 10 toes in. I read enough of our audits to know, no, this was done by a CPA firm.
Thank you for your report. Very well done.
The next item I have is the amendment to the Phase 6 water and sewer project. Just to preface this, the original grant project ordinance was submitted before the board in June of '22. And since the approval of the funding at our last meeting, the original one was for $5,200,800. And the new updated amendment is $6,929,000 to reflect the changes that were approved at the last meeting.
Okay, so you need action on approval of this grant ordinance.
Yes.
Okay. Could I get a motion to approve the amendment to the grant ordinance?
Mr. Chairman, I move approval for the amendment to the grant project ordinance on Phase 6.
All right, any discussion? Not all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Ms. Taylor?
Let me get back on track.
Okay.
Broadnax Taylor.
All right. Motion is carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next is county manager and board comments.
Good evening, Commissioners. I only have one item. I just wanted to make you all aware and make the citizens aware. The young lady sitting across from me, since she's been with Northampton County, has done a extraordinary, amazing job as clerk to the board, and she's topped it off by completing the clerk certification exam and all of the educational requirements through School of Government. So she was awarded, it says Dr. Deborah S. Gatlin has successfully completed the Clerk Certification Institute Friday, October 17th, 2025. So I just want to give you your flowers on today and say thank you for all you do for the county. That's all I have for tonight. I'll get home safely. Thank you.
Thank you, and congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Dr. Gatlin.
Okay, we'll start with our comments. I'll start on my right tonight with Commissioner Keith Edwards.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. It's a big farming time of the year, so be careful with all the equipment on the roads. Thank you again for your comments. We don't take them lightly. We will try to do the best we can do. So have a safe trip home, and thank you for coming out.
All right, Ms. Broadnax Taylor.
Like to thank everybody for coming out. Saturday was a wonderful day in Northampton County. Like to thank Miss Lily Purnell and her fabulous staff at Northampton Memorial Library with All Cancer Matters. That was fantastic. Also would like to let everybody know that I had the privilege to attend Mayor Roy Bell's 32-year retirement banquet. He retired after 32 years. He's still going to stick around for a while. That was a wonderful occasion. So there was a lot of great things happening in the county on Saturday, and like to thank you all for attending tonight. And remember that things just don't happen in Northampton County. We make them happen. Thank you for attending.
Vice Chairman.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me congratulate again to our chiefs of police, mother and son duo, and congratulations to Public Works on a job well done. And thank you, everybody, for coming out this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out, and drive safely on the way home. Deer are moving this time of year, and as Commissioner Keith Edwards said, farm equipment's on the road, so be careful on your way home. And now, could I get a motion to go into closed session?
Mr. Chairman, I move we go into closed session pursuant to General Statute 143-318.11A, 6 personnel.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I, Broadnax Taylor.
Okay, we'll now go into closed session. Thank y'all for coming tonight. We will discuss that in
Yeah, we have it on the agenda. I'll talk to Mr. Chairman about it.
All right.
Gene, didn't know what
Thank
the report and nothing. CPA wrote it.